Hey there everyone. Today I wanted to make a quick little video talking about my opinions on the third Titanfall DLC, all of the IMC Rising maps, what I think of them, do I think they play well, all that kind of stuff. So without much further ado, I guess let's get started. The gameplays you're going to be seeing is just kind of a hodgepodge of clips from all the three maps. I'm going to try and arrange them so they go along with the three maps as I'm talking about them. So that's pretty much how it's going to be. So I guess we'll start off with Backwater. Now, Backwater is, I guess, an okay map. It's kind of nice that pilots have the high ground in this map. They can get on top of the, the big tower in the middle, and they can control that area over Titans. However, it's pretty free to triple threats. There's kind of nothing pilots can do. If there's one triple threat in the field, they can't go up there anymore. They just will lose, and they will die. So it's kind of unfortunate. It's just kind of at that perfect height where you can't evade a triple threat. It's going to airburst, and it's going to kill everything. So pilots do have control until Titans are on the field, and then that's a Titan-dominated map. That's kind of a common theme for all three of the maps in this DLC, is that they're incredibly, utterly Titan-controlled. And as soon as one Titan is on the field, the entire gameplay shifts from, the interesting and fast-paced pilot play to hiding in buildings and trying to pick away at that Titan and just plunking away at grunts until you get your own Titans up and you can match the enemy Titan team's count. So this map is full of a bunch of foliage and trees, which you can kind of see through, but not really, and you most certainly cannot move through. There's lots of bushes and, very thin-looking foliage, which looks like you can move through it, which you cannot. There are little tiny bushes and cracks and crannies on the floor, which you think you can walk over with your Titan, but again, you cannot. It's very misleading as to where you can and cannot move. As both a pilot and a Titan, it's not entirely clear, where the movement spaces are and where the invisible walls are. In general, in my opinion, kind of a very poor map design in general. Not a whole lot of spaces for you to control as a pilot without you just being overrun by Titans at all points in time. And this seems to be a map that was made by a team of people who do not abuse the mobility factors in Titanfall very well. The map is not designed in order to be moved around quickly. It's designed to give a large field of movement to Titans. It's basically just one large donut for Titans to kind of do a merry-go-round and circles around. And it's not even a very good LTS map, Despite the map being so Titan-dominated, I don't find it to be very fun for last Titan standing. It just ends up being one team camping on the spawn hill, and the other team taking up positions on the high and low ground around the center of the donut. So, overall, just a very unfun and poor map in my opinion. Next, I'll talk about Sandtrap. This is another one where it's just so stupidly Titan-dominated that there's really just nothing you can do. There are some halfway decent areas where you can get away from Titans as a pilot, namely along the outskirts of the map. However, you have absolutely no mobility options in these areas of the map. And if you want to get around the map with any sort of speed at all, you have to go underground in the center, which is very, very easy to control with Titans. Very, very easy to control as a pilot, just camping at the one entrance and one exit on either side, or the one side entrance to the center channel. Then the one side channel is just not very beneficial anyways. So again, playing as a pilot on this map is pretty much equivalent to banging your head on the wall over and over and over and accomplishing nothing. You're going to want to actually run something like a DMR or a carbine on this map. Just camp up on a building, get some arc mines down, and just defend your position, defend your honor as a pilot, stay alive as long as you can, pick off anyone stupid enough to actually go above ground. And that's pretty much it. CTF routes, if you go through the center, it's pretty quick, but you are almost inevitably going to be killed by the Titans that have the high ground, which I have absolutely no idea why anyone thought Titans having high ground is a good idea, but Titans have high ground on this map. So you can't capture a flag on this map unless you get a Titan cap going. But there's not really anywhere for you to duck into with a Titan, so there's no cover for you to take. It's pretty much all just one big open battlefield. You're going to be, eaten alive by chain guns and 40 mils all day long, even railguns. So I just don't understand where you're supposed to move as a pilot on this map, where you're supposed to move as a Titan on this map, because it seems to be just controlling the hills as Titans. You get a couple arc cannons to sit right on the hill, a couple 40 mils and chain guns to hang back, and you have complete control over the entire map. There is only like one area on the whole map, which is a yellow pipe, in which a pilot is able to get any kind of high ground over a Titan, which, in my opinion, pilots should always have high ground over Titans easily accessible to them. See Angel City as an example of this. Titans are always in the channel, they're always in the low ground, and pilots are always above them. They're always able to take cover from Titans, annoy Titans, kill Titans, rodeo Titans, do all that kind of stuff. When one of the main hard points in a map is under the feet of a bunch of Titans, who can then shoot down into your hardpoint from multiple windows and angles, there is absolutely nothing you can do as a pilot to actually contain that area of the map. There's nothing you can do to contain Titans and combat Titans. It's just a war of attrition and trying to rush your Titans as quickly as you possibly can. So, again, in my opinion, just not a very fun map. It's just bare. It's empty. There's, there are side buildings you can duck into, but it takes you so long to move through them because they're so cluttered with crap that you cannot use your mobility tools to get through them. You can't bunny hop through them effectively. You can't move through them with any sort of speed or rapidity. You have to simply resort to Call of Duty sprinting through buildings from room to room to room until you're able to get outside of a building and actually pick up like a wall run before you get back into your flag base. So I don't understand this map. Maybe I am approaching it from all the wrong angles, but you can't play aggressively on this map. You have to play very, very passively and slowly, so I suppose it could be good for very coordinated team plays, but I definitely see this map ending in quite a lot of draws, or just 6-0 CTF victories based on who's able to get the first Titan out. So, again, this is a map that I just do not enjoy very much at all. Zone 18 is, again, in my opinion, another map that is very, very Titan-controlled, and one where Titans stupidly have the high ground. So Titan with chain gun, if you're the very first one to drop, that's pretty much what you want to be dropping. You can get on one of the few areas in the map that let you get nice high ground over everyone else, and you can control all of the roofs in the entire map with one Titan, with one chain gun, and that's pretty much all you need, unless you have a concerted effort by the enemy team to all deal with you from opposing angles. You're going to lose to that Titan, plain and simple. So this map, I guess this map pack in general, I don't understand why the Titans were given the high ground on 2 of 3 of the maps. It doesn't seem like a very Titanfall map to me, because pilots are forced to run and cower underground or inside buildings because there's not really a whole lot they can do about the Titans. They don't have that high ground. They don't have those roofs where they can really effectively deal with stuff. They're simply just stuck in these really tight and claustrophobic areas where they can't be as effective as they possibly could be. They're simply out of their element. And that's kind of the theme with all the 3 maps in this map pack, and kind of the reason why I don't like them, is that these maps are not very Titanfall to me. In my opinion, Titanfall, it's so centric around, being mobile and being fast as a pilot. Moving around the map with grace and style and agility, and dealing with threats that way due to your massive mobility. Not so much in your ability to move through a building effectively and control it with an R97 or shotgun or whatever. That doesn't seem very Titanfall to me. That seems very Call of Duty to me. Not that Call of Duty is a bad game. I've played many Call of Duties and I enjoy Call of Duty quite a lot. It's a fine and fun game that I enjoy. But when I play Titanfall, I want to play Titanfall. I don't want to play Call of Duty. I want to be given the sense that I have some mobility, that I have the ability to be a demigod and moving around the map and just controlling it with speed and agility and dexterity. So maps that to me are very Titanfall are maps like Rise, where pilots have the high ground and can move around. Or maps like Angel City, where pilots have the high ground and can move around freely. Is a map like, what else? Training Ground. Even Training Ground, as Titan dominated as it is, Pilots at least have some high ground. You at least have a couple of roofs, even if they're not that great. You have a couple areas where you can, try to harass Titans and deal with it. Even though the map is Titan dominated, which is fine, pilots have some kind of chance on that map. They don't have a chance on Zone 18. They especially don't have a chance on Backwater, and they really, really especially don't have a chance on Sandtrap at all. There's just nothing that they can do. So another map that's very Titanfall to me is Swampland even, because you have some rooftops, you have trees that you can move through, so even if you can't deal with the Titans directly from those trees, if nothing else, you still have some very, very sneaky mobility. You can duck in and out from trees and evade enemy shots that way, unless they have arc cannons, but, that's another story. It's just something that you can do. War games is another excellent example. You can get, you have all these areas that you can move through as a pilot, where no matter how strong Titans are on the map, you have areas where you can go as a pilot. You have it, you have mobility options. You have areas you can move through safely, but still quickly, You don't have to run through the middle. You can run through the outskirts and you're still very, very fast. It's just, you're able to play as a pilot. You're able to be very mobile. You're able to deal with Titans from the high ground as opposed to dealing with Titans from the low ground where you get splashed and stepped on like crazy. And that's why those maps are so great. And these new 3 maps just don't feel that way to me. They're so easily controlled by Titans, and there's really nowhere for you to go as a pilot that I just don't enjoy any of the 3. Now, granted, if we're playing LTS on these 3 maps, things are a little bit different. Backwater just kind of sucks overall. Zone 18 is actually really, really awesome for LTS because you have like basically a grid of 6x5 lanes that you can move through. So it's very, very, very interesting because Titans have all these areas and modes of attack that they don't really have in any other map. It's more like just like a death ball on other maps, but in this one, people split up and they they move through like the veins and arteries of this map. They move back and forth all through these little pathways. Even if they're little, there's just so many for you to duck in and out of that there's just options at all times. You can always have somewhere to go. There's always something to do. So I really like it for that. Sandtrap is, I guess, an interesting LTS map, and that it's just a straight-up standoff every single time. There are not any lanes to control at all. It's just simply, who is the better shot, who is better with their particle walls, who is luckier with their cluster missiles, or who's able to get close and be very skillful with their multi-targets. And it's just a battle of skill and just straight-up DPS and control. So that's something that you don't see on a lot of maps. So it's just something different, I suppose, and it's kind of fun on LTS sometimes, but it's a very different map and a very different approach to Titanfall. And one that doesn't really make me feel powerful as a Titan. However, it does make me feel like a member of a team, so I suppose that is something important as well. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I've got for this video. That's pretty much all my opinions on the maps. They're kind of interesting for LTS, but for everything else, they just generally kind of suck terribly, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I definitely don't recommend buying this map pack individually. If you're a Season Pass owner, you're considering buying the Season Pass, I definitely would still recommend getting it just for the other 2 map packs. Plus, in the future, we may see all 3 separate DLC playlists being combined into one Season Pass playlist, so it may be in your best interest to still invest in the Season Pass, even if these maps are kind of crap, just so that way you're not going to be stuck unable to play them ever because you don't have the whole full Season Pass. So probably worth it for that regard. I'm definitely overplaying how terrible the maps are. They're really not that bad. I just don't enjoy them or have fun with them. And frankly, if I have a choice of not playing on them, I will take that 99% of the time. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something new. Please like and subscribe if you feel so inclined, and we'll see you next time. Take care.